Hi, I'm Rob here at Ahearn Equipment in our Spencer, Mass store, and we're just going to go over some of the quick coupler buckets and attachments that we have that are for machines that are under 20,000 pounds. All of these have a Kubota Bantam style or OEM quick coupler on them. If you bought a Sani machine from our store that's under 20,000 pounds, we use that same coupler system on those excavators. So all of these would fit that as well. Sometimes we do promotions on these, and like I say, if you bought a Sani in another dealership, we can probably fix you up with a quick coupler that will fit these. But if you bought it here, it's under 20,000 pounds, Kubota or Sani will have this style on it. So first one we're going to start with, this is a basic trenching bucket. This one looks to be about a 30-inch or a 36-inch. Self-explanatory. These are just, if you're doing water lines, sewer lines, if you're digging a trench for any kind of power surface or something, these are just meant to engage with the ground. I'm not going to get too in detail about these because everybody kind of knows what they are already. This one over here, this is a grading bucket. So the ones we sell, they come with a bolt-on cutting edge, and they also are reversible. So if this wears out, which takes a while to do, unbolt it, twist it around, and you can go with the other side. These range in sizes from about 30-inch all the way up to 54, and sometimes it can get as big as 60-inch. This one over here is the same thing as this, same platform, but it's a tilt grade bucket, so this is hydraulic. The ones that we sell, they come outfitted with 1/2-inch flat face couplers. So you can see here, these are plugged together, so that way they don't get dirty. That's the whole point of the flat face system. So pretty much everything that we use, they're 1/2-inch body size. Some people are familiar with that, some aren't, but the design of this is just that you can, before you install it, if it's dirty, you can wipe it off with a rag or your hand. A lot less chance of getting contamination. So this one here, it's hydraulic. You would need auxiliary hydraulics on your machine. Most all the machines that we sell are plumbed with 1/2-inch flat face couplers on them. So this thing could just plug in and go. You don't really have to do anything special to your machine. Same thing with this one. Reversible edge on it if you wear it out. This is kind of the step between this one, which is a standard grading bucket, and a tilt rotator, which is like the Encon that we sell where the whole thing spins around. So, if you're looking to get into something where you just need to do some mild grading and you're on uneven ground, this is kind of that happy medium in between. This one here is a frost ripper. Going into winter, these become very popular. They do have gussets on the side, but the big misconception that we have with these is that people use them as stump removal tools. So this is great for doing what its name is. It's ripping frost. It's meant to just engage with the ground, tear through something, but not be pulling something out. They look cool to put on your excavator. People want to pull stumps with them, and you can, but the amount of side load that ends up on the side of this thing, it's got these gussets, but as you're pulling through a stump and you're pulling through the roots, that root, the further away from the base that it gets smaller. So as you're pulling on it near the stump ball itself, there's just a natural progression that thing's going to have less resistance the further out to the side. So we get a lot of people that buy these and they want to rip stumps with them, but as they dig, that thing's pulling up and it puts a tremendous amount of side torque right on this piece here, and it twists that whole thing off to the side. It can be straightened, but as everybody knows, once you bend metal, it kind of compromises it. So what is exciting is Workbrow, one of the brands that we handle mostly with all this sort of stuff, they do have a dedicated stump ripper. And so it's similar to this, but it's about this wide. And, it's kind of 2 gussets down the center. It's strictly made for pulling stumps. You can use it as a kind of a cable bucket too if you're ripping a small area to lay some electrical in. But we have some of those on order for anything from about 10,000 pound up through 20,000 pound. And as soon as we get those, we'll do a video about them so everybody can kind of see those. They're pretty well anticipated so far. Moving on. This is a root rake. So if you do scrap metal or any kind of forestry work, maybe you're clearing brush or something like that, This is just a tined handle. It's kind of like if you imagine your hand, it's one of the best tools you can to kind of sweep things toward you and leave all the dirt behind. This works in the same fashion. 10, 12,000 pound class, they come with 5 tines like this one. When you get into the bigger ones for a KX080 or a SY80, those ones are 3 tines. So they don't look as mean, but it's just the power that machine has in comparison. They're just gonna build it a little bit different. And finally, a bucket that not a lot of people are familiar with is a skeleton bucket. Very common that you see these on skid steers, but not really that common that you see them on excavators that are sub 20,000 pound. These, you know, they're application based. So not a ton of people buy these, but the big thing is when you do need one of these, you need it today. You don't need it 2 weeks from now, 3 months from now. Lead times are long. So although they're not the cheapest one, these we do keep in stock. We try to have at least 1 or 2 here at all times for those 10,000 to 18,000 pound machines. And you know, and they work well. If someone's in need of one, this is the go-to for it. So it's kind of a good idea of what we have for different attachments here. And like I said, when we get into the probably into the early part of next year and we get those stump rippers here, we'll shoot another video out for you guys.